Welcome to SATV News. This is Nouri Alamin with the headlines. Elected MPs to take oath as Member of Parliament and Constitution Reform Council tomorrow. BNP Cabinet to blend young and experienced leaders, said Hafizuddin. Any attempt to lead the country astray will be resisted unitedly. 13th national election was fair and inclusive, said TIB Director Dr. Iftekharuzaman. There was no election engineering. Now in details. The newly elected Member of Parliament and the new Prime Minister, along with members of the new Cabinet, are now scheduled to take oath on Tuesday. The oath-taking ceremony of the lawmaker will be held at South Plaza of Jatiya Sanshad building at 10 a.m. while the swearing-in event of the Cabinet member will take oath at the same venue at 4 p.m. Chief Election Commissioner A.M.M. Nasiruddin will administer the oath of the lawmaker, while President Muhammad Shahabuddin will conduct the oath to the Prime Minister and other Cabinet members as well. Foreign dignitaries, foreign ministers of the countries belonging to South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation are scheduled to attend the oath-taking ceremony of new government expected to led by PNP Chairman Tariq Rahman. For the first time, the new government will begin its journey with Cabinet member taking the oath at South Plaza of Jatiya Sanshad. Ahead of ceremony, the Cabinet Division and the Parliament Secretariat have started the preparations. 37 houses have been prepared for the Minister, State Minister and Deputy Minister for the incoming government and Housing of Public Work Advisor Adil Rahman Khan today. The advisor said the government has so far redid 37 houses for the incoming Cabinet member. The residences are located at the Minty Road, Harid Road, Dharmundi and Gulshan area as well. Preparations are underway to make a few more houses if needed. He also added, Mr. Adilur also said some of these houses are currently occupied by members of the current Council of Advisors. Regarding the incoming Prime Minister residence, he said it will be arranged according to their preference. Decision will be made in consultation with them, the advisor further also added. After achieving a single-party majority in the 13th National Parliamentary election, BNP is set to form its cabinet. Regarding these, retired Major Hafizuddin Ahmed B. Bikram, member of party's standing committee and newly elected member of parliament from the Vola 3 constituency. He also said the cabinet will be formed with a blend of young and experienced leader. He also made this remark to election after this discussion meeting organized at Dhaka Rawa Club on this occasion for the 42nd death anniversary of the Commander-in-Chief of the Liberation War, retired General M.H. Osmani. Hafizuddin Ahmed also said those who played an active role in the movement and the struggle against the fascist government will find places in the cabinet. There with no history in corruption who enjoy the people's trust must be included. He also claimed the most fair election in the country's history was held on February 12. He also warned in any attempt to lead the country astray would be resisted unitedly. His father said Tariq Rahman's visit for the residents of Nahid Islam and Shafiq Rahman have brought a fresh breeze to the political arena. He also expressed the expectation that they will play a constructive and strong role as the opposition party. The 13th National Parliament election was fair, acceptable and inclusive, said Dr. Iftekharuzaman, Executive Director of Transparency International Bangladesh TIB. Dr. Iftekharuzaman made this remark today at a press conference held at the Media Center in Dharmundi, the capital, where TIB released its report titled The 13th National Parliament Election Process, an affidavit-based observation as well. Responding to a question how election could be described as inclusive in the absence of the Army League, he said the party had announced a boycott and resistance to the poll. However, he noted that many Awami League leaders and activists at Upachala or grassroots level actively work for one party another during this election. Regarding allegation of this election, manipulation and TIB executive director said there was no election engineering. Nothing happened that would suggest election engineering took place, he also added. The 11-party electoral alliance led by Jamaat Islami staged a demonstration in Dhaka today protesting alleged post-election violence and electoral irregularities across the country. The protest was held at the gate for the north in the Baitul Mukarram National Mosque. Jamaat Amir Shafiqur Rahman, along the senior leader of alliance, are expected to join the demonstration. Earlier, a delegation led by Jamaat Assistant Secretary General A.H.M. Hamidur Rahman Ajab met with Election Commissioner Abdur Rahman Masood at EC headquarters in Agargaon yesterday. Following the meeting, Alliance held a press briefing at the EC building, expressing their dissatisfaction with the electoral process, an announcement for the protest. Welcome back. You're watching SATV News.
সারা দেশে লাখো মানুষের কঠোর কর্মতৎপরতা ও নিষ্ঠায় এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস এখন 16 কোটি মানুষের হাতের নাগালে। দীর্ঘ 30 বছর ধরে বিশ্বস্ততা ও দ্রুততার সাথে সেবা দেওয়ায় গ্রাহক সেবায় এখন শীর্ষে। বাংলাদেশে গ্রাহক সেবার সাফল্যের পর এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস এখন বিশ্ব বাণিজ্য কেন্দ্র সিঙ্গাপুরে। আপনার যে কোনো পণ্য সিঙ্গাপুর থেকে বাংলাদেশে বুকিং এর জন্য যোগাযোগ করুন। এসএ পরিবহন প্রাইভেট লিমিটেড, লজিস্টিক্স পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস, 22 রবার্টস লেন, সিঙ্গাপুর 218302। ফোন 0065 629 24900। বাংলাদেশ থেকে সিঙ্গাপুরে পণ্য বুকিং এর জন্য যোগাযোগ করুন ঢাকা সহ দেশের যে কোনো 80টি শাখা কেন্দ্রে। এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস, আপনার সেবা সব সময়।
Welcome, Grand Palace Hotel, Dhaka. A majestic lobby blending timeless elegance with modern design. Experience 5-star comfort in suites and rooms. Sophisticated fine dining restaurant. Crystal clear swimming pool for ultimate relaxation. Modern gym and serene spa for well-being. Perfect venue for corporate events, weddings and parties. Seamless and secured, elegant and eye-catching design. Indulge, relax, discover the first 5-star chain hotels in Bangladesh. Grand Palace Hotel Dhaka, 22 Kakrail, Dhaka, Bangladesh.
Welcome to Grand Club at Mirpur 10, Dhaka. Elegant spa and wellness facility for ladies and gents. Play pool and snooker in international standard billiard zone. World-class gym facility with exclusive equipment for man and woman. A restaurant of delicious local and international cuisine. Fully air-conditioned building with spacious banquet, car lift, sky view rooftop restaurant, all in one. Grand Club Limited.
Welcome back and you are watching SATV News. Now news from abroad. At least 9 Palestinians were killed in Israeli airstrike in the northern and southern Gaza Strip on Sunday, said Palestinian civil defense and health officials as well. Medics said an Israeli strike on the tent emplacement housing displaced the family, who killed at least 4 people, while health officials said another strike have been killed 5 in the south. In recent hours, the IDF has begun striking in response to Hamas, the blatant violation of the ceasefire agreement on yesterday in the Beit Hosen area. An Israeli military official said on set, and adding that terrorists emerged from the tunnel east for the Yellow Line. The official called on Sunday strike precise and aligned with international law and said the Palestinian militant group has committed more than 6 violations of an October ceasefire. Meanwhile, Israel government has approved a plan to claim a large area for occupied West Bank as a state property if Palestinians cannot prove ownership, prompting a regional outcry and accusation of de facto annexation. Meanwhile, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said on Sunday he told U.S. President Donald Trump last week that any U.S. deal with Iran must include the dismantling of Iran nuclear infrastructure, not just stopping enrichment process. A second round of talks between the U.S. and Iran are slated for the week. The Iran is pursuing the nuclear agreement with the U.S. that deliver economic benefits for the both sides. An Iranian diplomat was reported on Sunday, speaking at an annual conference of the president. The major American Jewish organization, Netanyahu said, is skeptical for the deal, but it must include enrich the material living Iran. Netanyahu also said Israel still needs to complete the job of destroying all tunnel in Gaza. Netanyahu also said he aimed to end U.S. military Israel within the next 10 years after the current 10 years deal of receiving $3.8 billion, which is largely sent to United States and equipment, end in 2028.
United States, the region, the world. The first is that all
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio on Sunday expressed optimism about reaching a deal with Iran despite acknowledging that no previous attempt have been successful. He also said no one has been even able to do so a successful deal with Iran, but U.S. is going to try, Rubio said during a press conference in the festival. An Iranian diplomat on Sunday confirmed that Iran is pursuing a nuclear agreement with U.S. that suggests and deliver economic benefit for the both sides, a day before a second round of talks between Tehran and Washington. Mr. Rubio further said Donald Trump had made it was clear that they would prefer diplomacy and negotiated settlement. Iran and the U.S. renewed negotiation earlier this month to tackle their decade-long dispute over Tehran's nuclear program and avert a new military confrontation. The U.S. has departed a second aircraft carrier to the region and is preparing for possibility of a sustained military campaign if the talks don't succeed, U.S. officials have told to Reuters. Russia's defense ministry has said its troops have been taken the village of the Tebskov in Ukraine's southeastern Zaporizhia region. Russia controls about 75% of the Zaporizhia region, but battle lines had been largely static since 2022 until the recent Russian advances as well. Meanwhile, Russian Black Sea port for the Taman, which handled oil product, grain, coal and commodities, had been damaged by a Ukrainian drone attack, the governor of Russia, Krasnoyarsk region said on Sunday. 2 people were injured on an oil storage tank, warehouse and terminal took damage in Volna village, the site of Taman port, the Millennium. The Countersport stated more than 100 people were working to put out the severe fire at the port. Separatists type on the destroyed city for the Sochi and village of Virkova close to the site. Town for Anapa had caused less significant damage, he further added. Thousands of anti-government protesters led by students gathered in the central Serbian city of the Krasnoyarsk on Sunday, vowing to continue protest last week and the last year. Deadly railway station canopy collapse in Novi Sad. The rally had been Serbia's state today on the Drew University student and the local resident who carried out the banner and the national flag in the city center. The protest movement emerged following the collapse of a concrete the canopy at the Novi Sad, the main railway station in November, the 120,000 in the which killed the 16 people, seriously injured another. The tragedy triggered widespread public anger, with demonstrators blaming systemic corruption, poor oversight, a lack of accountability in public infrastructure projects. After gathering in the city center, participants planned a symbolic convoy to Onskar, framing the move as call for democratic renewal. At least 2 people were killed on Sunday morning when a Erwanson stuck on mountain valley near the coal mare in the northern Italy, and the Alpine Rescue Service said. A 3rd person had been hospitalized in Turin in the critical condition, the same authorities said. According to the rescue team, the 3 men on the French national identification operation are being carried out by the Intense Finance Police. 15 rescued from the Alpine Rescue Service, also Valley and Financial Police took part in the operation. In addition to them, 2 doctors, 3 units of the search dog, 2 helicopters and 2 ambulances were deployed to the site. Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen and the Greenlandic Prime Minister Jens Frederik Nelson criticized U.S. President Donald Trump in interest ongoing the Greenland during a panel of Arctic security for the Munich Security Conference on Saturday. They said the pressure exerted on Greenland was unacceptable and they raised for the both a concern about international stability. The FedEx expressed doubt that Trump had abandoned his pursuit of Greenland. She said he delivered the desired owing Greenland for the steal in time. The Federation added that Greenland had never before faced external threats, calling the current situation unprecedented. The Danish leader underscored her commitment to resolving the tension through the dialogue. The Nelson echoes Federation's sentiment. He also warned that such action could set a dangerous precedent, that potentially leading to the division for the war in the major power like the US, Russia and China into the sphere for influence. Supporters of Cuba gathered on Sunday outside the Cuban embassy in Mexico City to express solidarity with island nation and protest against the U.S.-imposed oil blockade, which demonstrators said on intensified economic hardship. The President's rally organized by Cuba Solidarity Group, the feature Cuban flag banner clam and the cultural activities demonstrator condemned the fuel restriction form, thus income suffocation and damage for the resumption for the Mexican crew, shipment and humanitarian aid. Deputy Chief of Cuban Mission in Mexico, Johanna Telva de la Torre, thanked Mexico and its government for defending the sovereignty of Cuba. She also refuted claim suggesting the Cuban government was at fault for the crisis, calling such narrative misleading disinformation. U.S. President Donald Trump administration has declared Cuba an unusual and extraordinary threat to U.S. national security and said the communist-run island received oil from Venezuela. U.S. Ambassador to NATO Matthew Whitaker, hold a nation of the Munich Security Conference in China, had the power to end the war Russia was waging on Ukraine, adding that Russia's war on the Ukraine is being completely enabled by China. He said China could call Vladimir Putin end war tomorrow and cut off its dual-purpose technologies. They are telling China could also stop buying Russian oil and gas with Tucker asserted. There are lots of opportunities in the world for the pressure on the China, he also added.
Infrastructure. I mean, it is.
A man was arrested on Sunday after 3 teenagers were stabbed in Osaka tourist Minami district around midnight on Sunday, leaving one of them dead. Japanese broadcaster NTV said on the victim, who died on 17-year-old man. Suspect, who had been identified as 21-year-old Egba University, was arrested on suspicion on the matter. The man was acquaintance for the teenager, had been involved in some trouble with the solidarity incidents, reported local media outlets. Before ending, we'll go through the SATV news headlines again. Elected MPs to take oath as Member of Parliament and Constitution Reform Council tomorrow. BNP Cabinet to blend young and experienced leaders, said Hafizuddin. Any attempt to lead the country astray will be resisted unitedly. 13th national election was fair and inclusive, said TRB Director Dr. Iftikharuzzama. There was no election engineering. You are up to date with the top stories so far here on SATV. And to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.